Not long ago, Germany was like Europe's engine. Everyone knew this for many years. The country that was once the clear leader is now the worst performing big economy in the world. Germany's economy is falling more sharply than in the rest of Europe. But what happened to Germans, and what went wrong so fast? The country's manufacturing giants Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes-Benz. They weren't just names. They were world-famous brands, known for their reputation for precision engineering, superior performance, and luxury. Because of the German quality and efficiency, the country became the biggest economy in Europe. Germany's way of doing business seemed like it would last forever. A solid base of growing by selling to other countries, which pulled all of Europe forward. For a long time, if you wanted to know what was happening in Europe, you looked at Germany. But that's not true anymore. Germany's engine is slowly shutting down. In this video, we will talk about the current economic conditions of Germany, how it went from being one of the world's largest economies to the weakest in just a few years. And most importantly, why Europe and the US should pay attention and learn from Germany's mistakes and its economic downturn. Watch this video until the end, because you need to closely understand what went wrong in Germany and how other Western nations should not repeat the same mistakes. And if you're new here, do subscribe to our channel to stay connected with all our latest videos. After World War II, the country built itself into a huge economic power. Their motto was to make really good, complex stuff and sell it everywhere. It was simple and it worked. From strong car engines to fancy machines that filled factories worldwide, fueled Germany's economic base. Patient long-term investors, obsessed with skills and perfection, formed the backbone for giants like Volkswagen, Siemens, and BASF, a dense ecosystem everyone admired. Germany sold far more than it bought, becoming Europe's anchor. But the model relied on open markets, cheap energy, abundant skilled workers, and a lasting lead in legacy industries like combustion engines. At some point in the 1990s, after the reunification, Germany's GDP growth rate was around 5.3%, but due to high energy prices, its growth has been sluggish, and in 2023, it fell down to minus 0.2%. Even though Germany currently holds the third highest GDP worldwide, after the US and China, its growth trajectory is worrying for the future. So, how did Germany become the sick man of Europe, and why is it struggling so much? For decades, a critical pillar of Germany's industrial success was cheap energy, a steady, affordable flow of Russian gas. Nord Stream pipeline connected Russia and Germany directly via the Baltic, through which Germany enjoyed cheap energy and scaled its industries. By February 2022, Germany imported 55% of its gas from Russia, which in retrospect was a strategic vulnerability disguised as advantage. Russian cheap gas was lifeblood for Germany's energy-intensive sectors, including automobile, chemicals, glass, and metals. But during the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Moscow weaponized energy. The foundation shattered, and Germany's energy flowing through Nord Stream pipeline was cut off. Spot prices skyrocketed to unimaginable levels, turning costs existential. Running factories became unaffordable, margins erased, models unviable. LNG arrived at much higher prices. The era of cheap energy was over. BASF downsized European operations, shut energy-intensive units including ammonia, cut thousands of jobs, and put 10 billion into a new China site, chasing competitive energy. Even though energy prices fell from peaks but stabilized above pre-pandemic and above competitors in the US and Asia. In fact, analysts predict a decade of higher prices and a structural disadvantage that has permanently damaged the German manufacturing industry. Germany's energy shock was just a catalyst, but the manufacturing crisis runs deeper. German automakers are facing one of their biggest industrial challenges in decades. By late 2025, profits had fallen sharply as Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers rapidly expanded across global markets, offering cheaper and more competitive EVs. At the same time, weakening demand, rising production costs, and growing trade tensions over tariffs have put additional pressure on Germany's manufacturing sector, exposing how vulnerable Europe's largest economy has become in the global EV race. In fact, we have touched on this topic in one of our previous videos. We spoke on how the Chinese EV company BYD overtook Tesla as the world's top EV seller. Do check it out. With Germany's export orders hit hardest, it is safe to say that the economic crisis is not coming to Germany. It's already here. The pivot to EVs and software-defined vehicles is difficult and costly, with fierce competition from nimble startups and Chinese manufacturers. In August 2025, industrial production fell 4.3% in 1 month, driven by an 18.5% plunge in autos, far worse than forecasts. After the pandemic, globally, growth resumed, but Germany decoupled, which signals structural, not just cyclical, problems in the country. German goods exports fell below pre-crisis levels while the Eurozones rose. Germany has been suffering a stagflation, inflation crisis, and a recession all at once. Its economy is in prolonged stagnation and decline, while other European economies are slowly growing. The data is unambiguous. For instance, Germany's real GDP contracted 0.3% in 2023, the only G7 nation to shrink. It contracted again by 0.2% in 2024. 2 straight years confirm recession. Real GDP in 2024 was roughly at 2019 levels, 5 years of zero growth. This is the longest period of economic inactivity in 7 decades. Pandemic plus geopolitical shocks made this downturn deeper than prior crises. Over 5 years, GDP rose just 0.1% in total. The diagnosis is serious. Germany is stuck in stagnation. Investment collapsed. Gross fixed capital formation fell 2.8% in 2024, with construction down 3.5% amid high costs and tight financing. Weak sentiment and uncertainty delay projects, fueling a vicious cycle. It faced stagflation in 2025, a 3rd year of decline. Returning to the old path would require 2.5% growth for 6 straight years, a rate that seems unattainable, not just for Germany, but any European country for that matter. Comment Europe if you're interested to hear a deep dive on what can make Europe more competitive in the global race. Germany's troubles do not exist in a vacuum. It is the beating heart of Europe's industrial complex, deeply integrated with neighbors. Immediate effects can be seen in Poland, the Czech Republic, France, Italy, and Austria. For instance, a car made in Germany may include parts from Poland, electronics from the Czech Republic, Italian steel, and Austrian manufacturers for assembly lines. When German output drops, orders vanish across Europe. Shocks from German industry measurably hit other euro area manufacturers. They can explain almost 1/3 of the variation in Italian manufacturing just 6 months later. Trade is the direct channel. German cuts mean fewer intermediate imports, weaker neighbors' exports. Sentiment and investment spread the pain. Confidence falls, hiring and capex pause. Germany's slowdown breaks Eurozone growth and complicates ECB policy. The German problem has become Europe's problem. The health of the entire economy is hostage to the fate of the German model. So here's why Europe should pay attention to what's happening in Germany. The crisis exposes deep structural problems years in the making, not cyclical dips that fade with demand. They are weaknesses in the economic architecture that exports success long papered over. First, demographics. One of Europe's oldest populations, a shrinking workforce, chronic skilled labor shortages, engineers, software developers, welders, electricians, too few qualified workers, capacity constrained, wages pressured, competitiveness eroded. Second, bureaucracy and slow digitalization, excessive paperwork, slow approvals, outdated public admin. Despite factory robots, fiber penetration, and e-government adoption lag peers. Third, exposure, heavy reliance on manufacturing and exports as global trade fragments and supply chains reorder. High energy costs after the Russia break have structurally altered heavy industry's playing field. These are structural shifts requiring a fundamental rethink of the model. The world of tomorrow won't look like yesterday. Germany's old model will no longer work. It needs to adapt to modern technologies and embrace entrepreneurship. Most importantly, Germany needs to upskill its workforce by combining academic learning with specialized, practical apprenticeship training. In terms of exports, Germany is squeezed between its security ally, the US, and its largest customer, China. The prospect of renewed US tariffs injects uncertainty. Autos are especially vulnerable. China is no longer just a market, it's a formidable competitor moving up the value chain. Severing Russian energy was necessary and economically painful, a wake-up to embed geopolitics into policy. De-risking from China is hard and expensive. Deep ties make disentanglement monumental. Germany's slowdown is more than just a national crisis. It is a warning about the vulnerabilities of Europe's entire economic model in a rapidly changing world. And if Europe's industrial engine can struggle under rising energy costs, global competition, and slowing growth, the rest of the continent may soon face the same reality. What do you think? Please feel free to share your perspective on what could help Germany and other Western countries that are facing stagnation. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care.